once it loads. Are we live? This is my favorite part about live streaming. Waiting like 10 seconds is awkwardly being like, are we live yet? Are we live yet? And we are. How's it going, everyone? Joey64 here, and welcome back to another episode of the 64 podcast. Episode 4 to be specific. And I realized I completely ruined the podcast intro there because I normally say something else. But hello, everyone. Welcome. Oh, and crap, I'm like so off center because I didn't do the intro right. But we have a guest today again. Yeah, introduce yourself. Yeah, I don't know who it is. Oh, wait. Okay. So I may or may not have had you muted that whole time. So introduce yourself again.
It's me, Joey64. Back at it again.
But
no,
yeah,
it's me. It's me, Thomas. You guys already know. Also known as Fighter 555.
Yeah. But yeah, so Thomas is joining. Oh, I have my God, I am so thrown off today. But anyhow, yeah. I want to take a quick second to say hello to anyone in the chat. I see Clifford Longhead. Hi, hello. And Janice in the chat. Hi, Joey. Hello, welcome. It's been a little bit because we didn't do an episode last week because basically all last week was just multiple episodes of the podcast with all the direct stuff. But yeah, I'm like, so, God, I screwed up the intro. Now I'm really thrown off. But Thomas, how have you been? What have you been doing the past week or so?
Wallowing in self-pity.
That's a little sad. We played Corby yesterday. That's
not in a sad way. In a happy way.
In a healthy way.
Yes.
That's good. Have you been playing?
What I mean is, I had a long and dreary week, but this weekend has been amazing.
Awesome. What games have you been playing recently?
Minecraft.
Anything else? Or is it just Minecraft? What have you been doing in Minecraft?
I played Smash Brothers. In Minecraft, I've been mining and crafting.
That's cool.
Actually been jumping on your worlds quite a lot recently.
You have, actually. You have. Also,
been enjoyable. Been very enjoyable.
That's good. Also, so I have a new setup today. By the way, finally I'm actually using my desk again instead of being on the couch, as y'all know I normally am when I'm streaming. So we may have some technical issues today with like the mic, and I've been having to move the mic, make sure it's spaced far enough to where the computer fans will pick it up and stuff. So I do apologize for that in advance. We are going to have some technical issues, like the fact I forgot to turn off all the stuff on VC Face so you don't see all the settings. There we go. Now you can't see the settings. It's just my beautiful face. But yeah, I guess we'll start with the first news topic. You tell it's been a hot while. Anyhow, so let's go ahead. Last week, or the last few weeks really, we have been getting a lot of news about the Sonic Movie 2, and other stuff of the Sonic Movie franchise. So we're going to be talking about that a good deal today. Starting off with, we've been getting several TV spots showing up various scenes, such as mainly more looks of the Sonic vs. Knuckles fight, and of course the big thing, the Death Egg robot. Thomas, I know I've already made a few videos on this, so what's your thoughts on all the various, like the Super Bowls, trailer, and all the other trailers we've been getting the past few weeks?
After going through with you for what felt like an eternity without getting much news on this movie, the hype is real, man. Especially with these new trailers. Just each new one that comes out gets me that more excited for this movie.
Same, honestly. I am so stoked for this because this has been like we've been getting like since the Game Awards, we've been constantly like we've kind of one or two TV spots, but it's like we're now about at this point we're basically about a month out, a little more than a month. We're about a month out from the movie, which is crazy to say. let's see, actually, we are specifically 1 month and 18 days away from the movie. Just check my countdown that I have on my phone for it, but we're pretty close to the release of it, which is again crazy to think about, just because like they almost greenlit this movie like back when like it was like almost wasn't it like the summer that the first one like of 2020?
Believe so.
Believe
I remember. I remember when it did get greenlit. You were very excited.
Yeah, as a big Sonic fan, and now you've more recently as a more recent Sonic fan. Um, so yeah, there we go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we've been getting a lot of stuff. Apologies for me not talking too much. I've been trying to get everything on the socials. We're running a little behind today, but anyhow, like I said, we've been getting more looks at Sonic vs. Knuckles fight, more looks at the Death Egg robot. More recently, we've actually gotten at the IGN Game Fest. We got an interview with Ben Schwartz, James Marsden, Kalino Shogli. Apologies for butchering your name. It's pretty hard to pronounce. And
Idris Elba?
no, it was the director. What's it? Gosh, I just forgot.
Really?
Jeff Fowler. Idris Elba and Jim Kim made a pre-recorded appearance answering one of the questions. But they're both probably busier actors. I would say, at least from an outside point of view. So that's probably why we did not see them at the live thing. We didn't get too much today, just a lot more fun stuff. We do know that the movie will now be, we don't know the official one time, but Jeff Fowler did say that they were talking about the scope of the movie, and one of the things he did kind of like say while talking about it was the movie now being over 2 hours long. He said something.
Oh gosh.
So the original movie's one time, put that in perspective, was an hour and 28 minutes. So we're getting at least 30 minutes more that the first movie did. And me personally, though I don't think I don't mean this in a bad way, but for how short the movie was, like one time, it felt very long. But like in a good way. It felt like it really used all this time like pretty well, and it didn't feel like a short movie. So seeing how this one, like, we've been seeing that the scope is so much bigger than the first one already. And now that we are seeing, like, we now know it's going to be at least 2 hours long. And I know there's been some leaks, rumors that have stated that it seems like it may be around, I think we saw something that was like 2 hours and 28 minutes, I believe, which is, like, insane. that's like, more than like some of the like the like newer Marvel movies. I think that's like longer than Shang-Chi, I believe.
Yeah.
Not all the new like I think it's longer than that and Black Widow and stuff. It's kind of crazy to think about. Like that's going to be a very long movie, which of course me as a Sonic fan is very excited for. But yeah. As do you have anything else you want to add with all the new information we getting now, like trailer and interview wise, I guess?
Just again, the hype, man.
Yeah.
It's getting good. I hope it builds up to something amazing.
Hopefully. Also, hello Seeks. What's up? Hello, welcome to the stream. Welcome.
Yo.
Let's talk about building up the hype. Another thing we've gotten from the Sonic movie is we've been getting a lot of merchandise recently, and the merchandise has actually started to be dropped in at storefronts. People have started to find them at storefronts. Specifically today, I have seen a lot of people on Twitter today show photos and find out like Target seems to be the place to find it, which Target only carries a lot of Sonic toys more than most other like the big retailers like Walmart and stuff. That's definitely something I'm gonna have to go by a Target someday in the next week, because it seems like we're starting to get all the merchandise. We have, I think there's like a pack of like Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Jim Carrey's Robotnik. There's all those figures, but in like individual packs. There's a lot of plushes that we didn't even know about. There's like a 14-inch Sonic plush. There's like a 8-inch plush of like the main trio. What else? The 14-inch one was big. It was like big and very fuzzy. From the photo I saw. What else have we gotten? There's a lot of other merchandise. Oh, and we've been getting like a lot of like books. You know, like those like kids books to get like the official like novelization of the book or of the movie or whatever. Like we've been getting some of those. I don't think it's been anything like.
I hope the official novelization of the movie hasn't come out yet.
Oh, well, that hasn't came out yet, but we know about it. It's been announced. Sorry,
That would
sorry.
be that would
Yeah,
be pretty funny though if it's just like, hey, have this kids book that essentially waters down the entire movie into a 120-page book.
yeah, that would be pretty bad. But yeah, we've been getting stuff like that. And we've also it's not been confirmed though. That basically was from the leaks that we got that we will be getting McDonald's Happy Meal toys, from featuring like the stuff from the Sonic movie 2, which will be starting in March. That would be the March April toy for the Happy Meal toys because they normally do them for 2 months. That's normally how they work. So probably sometime we may start seeing them very soon because we've already got some leaked photos of them. So they haven't been released yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if any day now we start seeing people be like, yeah, they're in Happy Meals now. I feel like it's probably like the very beginning of March. Um, it's really the movie only has about a little more than a month left to promote itself because it's the first week of April. So like it comes out in April, but they really can't promote it but so much in April. Um, but they're still going to promote a lot in April because people may not see it when it first comes out, but they're definitely going to be promoting a lot in March, I would imagine. But yeah, we begin. We're getting Happy Meal toys, which we only know three of them. We know we're getting a Tails and Knuckles and a Death Egg Robot toy, which of course, me being the man child I am very excited for those. Um, and I do plan to get all of them. Um,
Yeah, that
yeah,
makes one of us.
yeah. It's really
That being said, if they do make a Robotnik toy, I'll probably get it.
yeah. I know there's going to be the Jack specific ones already out. But also something I've thought about. See, we got the late last year. We got the Death Egg Robot like toy, like just like like the like classic one.
Hmm.
I almost wonder if Jax, because the same people making the Sonic movie stuff is it's the same manufacturer. I almost wonder if they did that toy knowing about the Death Egg robot in the Sonic movie too. Like I don't know if they would or not, because like typically they wouldn't know. I would think, but like I don't know. It's something I thought about because like the timing that's a little convenient, but it may just may
It's
just been happenstance.
I would probably say it's possible, but I think it's more or less just coincidence.
Yeah, that's what I think it is. It was just something I thought because it came out like late last year. It's like,
Because in the same sense, you could say the same thing about Lego. Like, did Lego know when they decided to finally do? Well, I guess that's not how those work. But again, just happenstance.
true, very true. It's just I don't think like there's some big conspiracy behind it. It's just something I thought about the other day. I was like, huh. Um,
I wonder if there'll be a similar conspiracy when this movie comes out, like with the first one, where people are saying that the first design of Sonic was intentionally bad to get the movie a lot of free PR.
yeah, maybe something will be funny if all things is Jack specific. If all things is where that comes from. But talking one thing the fourth Sonic movie actually had it was just like the Sonic brand in general had it was just like based off like the main like game brand, but I'm pretty sure this was intentional. There was Arby's Sonic toys at the time when the fourth movie came out, based off like the games. I have a few of them. I'm sure Sega probably just planned that. Like they were probably like planning to do the thing with Arby's. So like, oh, we just do it in February. So it's kind of cool to see them go from like Arby's to like like McDonald's Happy Meals. That's like the prime, like the biggest one of like all of like the fast food chains of like the kids meal toys, I guess. So it's just kind of a neat thing to see. Like, oh wow, like we're skipping out. Like even like Detective Pikachu was its toys were at Burger King. I remember that. Which I remember that shocked me because I would think it would be McDonald's. Just because how big Pokemon is, and that's what the Pokemon card one was at, but
Well,
yeah.
it also goes into how much they bid for it too.
True.
So they bid for those uh, properties
The
to.
IP rights.
Yeah.
So I'm just, I don't know. I guess I think Pokemon. When you think like McDonald's is like, yes, please, but no, it's so cool. It's cool to see. Not McDonald's doesn't always get all of them. But yeah, no, that's just cool. But the last thing that we got announced of, the thing that y'all been seeing on screen here to my right the whole time, Paramount, when they at a press conference they had about a week ago, and they announced a whole bunch of movies and shows and stuff. They announced that we would be getting the third movie in the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, officially titled Sonic the Hedgehog 3, along with an Idris Elba Knuckles show for Paramount Plus, and the show will be coming next year. The movie doesn't have a release date, but if I was going to put any money on it, it'll probably be 2024, another 2 year production. Um, maybe maybe they'll try to go for that big blockbuster summer release. I think that's possible. Seeing how like this movie was like 2 years plus 2 months, I could see that happening with the third movie, and it's like that would be like a June release, which the Sonic movie as big as it's going to be, they could definitely start competing with stuff like Marvel and Disney and stuff.
Hmm.
Because people already just based on off how much the first movie made, and that was with COVID, and with it not being able to be in the second biggest movie market of China and stuff, it made 350 million in the box office, which is ridiculous. So like I think if they could keep this momentum up, I personally think the third movie I can see it getting close to 1 billion. I think it's
Yeah.
very possible because I think the second movie is going to get at minimum 500 million, but I'm betting it's going to be around 700 million. That's what I'm thinking it's going to make in the box office. But especially with them continuing to expand the franchise, not just in movies, but like the Idris Elba show. I think that's really cool. But Thomas, what are your thoughts on this?
Well, I the Idris Elba show. I think it's really cool that we're getting an Idris Elba show with Knuckles because I always Knuckles has always seemed like such a cool character to me. But I know when you first told me, I made the joke about how the show is literally just going to be Knuckles sleeping on his emerald in the middle of Angel Island for the entire show, and that's going to be it.
Yeah,
Which obviously won't, but it'd be pretty funny if they at least referenced that.
yeah. I do wonder if he will somehow be like it will be about him guarding the Master Emerald somehow, because I know something I've seen people make theories about this is so it's something I could kind of believe is that possibly Knuckles doesn't know about the Master Emerald yet, possibly because or though I don't remember exactly the theories I remember seeing about this, but we see a scene where there's that green beam of light in the ocean with Jim Carrey and Knuckles, and that's most likely the Master Emerald because the next shot is the Master Emerald like shrine, and it's on we know they filmed a lot in Hawaii, and you could tell it's the Hawaii set, but Knuckles is there, and people there's been theories saying maybe at the end what is Hawaii, but is gonna make what is Hawaii in our world, but it may become Angel Island, and at the end of the movie, Knuckles will take the Master Emerald, and something will happen to become that island where they found the Master Emerald on the coastline will become Angel Island, or like come into the sky, and Knuckles will it'll be his duty to protect the Master Emerald. Which we do know that he has, he does have that sense of destiny and duty, which is kind of from the games because we've had that's one of the lines in the Super Bowl trailer. It's he says it's my destiny to destroy you, which I like that they do. That is a big part of Knuckles' character is um struggling with the fact that he's destined to be the God Master Emerald, and even if like that's not what he does, at least in the second movie, it would be cool. We still kind of get that with him struggling with like he doesn't even know who Sonic is, but he has to fight him because that's his destiny. And we kind of need we see kind of that translate over from the games to the movies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Bunny Honey, hi Joey. I like your VTuber model. Thank you and hello. Welcome to the stream.
But I guess in terms of a third movie, I'm definitely excited. But I think it was. I think it's well. I don't think they announced the second movie anywhere near when we first saw the first one, but I will say I do want to watch the second movie before I like start thinking about the third one.
Yeah, that's why like I'm not. I'm theorizing more like on the Knuckles show because that's gonna be like the immediate follow up than a Thor movie. Like I can't like just I've like thought about it. Like I know before this we were talking about like if you turn the 3 around, it kind of looks like Metal Sonic's eyes and stuff. Like there's a few things, and like obviously like people are excited about it, but like I do agree with that. Cause like we could theorize on what's gonna be in the Thor movie, but like we don't just have the second movie. We also have the Idris Elba show. That's assuming the Idris Elba show would take place in between the second and third movie.
Interesting. I had an interesting thought though when you brought up theories on how the show could go. Maybe if they don't go into much detail in this movie about it, maybe it could be like Knuckles meeting Robotnik
That could
before,
be
like a
interesting.
prelude to the second movie, and leading up to it.
That could be interesting. I've also had the idea of one. The only I feel like it most like we make it like one Jim Carrey appearance in that show mainly just because of how expensive Jim Carrey is.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's why like I think maybe they'll do that, but like they'll have to do some like he's in the first episode and then Knuckles goes on some adventure and we basically don't see Jim Carrey till maybe the end or something.
Yeah.
Or the idea I've had personally is, and I'm not the only one, is it takes place after the second movie. He's gone to Master Emerald, and similar to the game plot. As he's gone to Master Emerald, he runs into the Chaotix, and
Ah.
because the Chaotix, it was
Well,
originally Knuckles Chaotix, and maybe they won't be a major part of the movie because they are pretty minor characters in like the game universe as well. But that could see them maybe doing that. No, maybe there'll be more major, more like minor characters, and like they may appear in the movie like to help Knuckles, like maybe like at the beginning of the movie, but like the third movie was still maybe like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles, kind of like
the
how the
biggest
games are. But that's
yeah,
this idea I have.
the biggest thing with that is, and I like that idea. I think that would be cool. But the thing is, I just because as going through the stage of being a Sonic fan myself, I feel like throwing the chaotics at um the general audience that fast is kind of throwing like kind of going a bit too far, like biting off more than they could chew. And I feel
I can see that.
like again, I definitely think they could make it work because they're both introducing Tails and Knuckles in the second movie. But I feel like they would almost introduce like Amy or just like characters who are a lot more like I don't know.
Recognizable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
recognizable.
Don't. Yeah. I've heard one of the things I can see with the Chaotix is because that's you're not just introducing one or two characters that are going to be play a major role in the rest of the franchise. You're introducing, assume they don't base it off of the classic Chaotix and they don't bring in Mighty into this, which I don't think I can see them bringing in Mighty way in the far flung future of the Sonic franchise. That's like minor characters. I think that'd be kind of neat, but I don't see them bringing them in this soon. But I think if the character was, then it'll be the modern interpretation of them, or it'd be based off the modern version with Vector, Charmy, and SPO. But I can see them take a
Mhm.
bit from the classic, where originally the Chaotix they weren't detectives, they were like Knuckles' team,
It's
which would be
like
kind of neat way to do it. But the reason why I could see them doing it in the show personally is um a show gives you more time to sit back and explore characters and stuff because it's like a longer form of media.
mhm.
So I could see them maybe this could be a good time to explore these characters. If they decide to go through with that, because I definitely think that Knuckles will at least have what it was movie original from the games. There's going to be at least one other character with Knuckles because you have like
Oh
let's just
yeah.
say like a 10 episode series with just
I could see
Knuckles.
Rouge. I
I
could see
I've
Rouge.
seen people bring that up. I was going to bring that up as well. I could see possibly Rouge, maybe introducing Rouge into the series and it being kind of like a Sonic Shadow, not like personality wise, but kind of like how like throughout SA2, Sonic and Shadow like constantly with each other, but they're never on the same side. Kind of like that. Well, Actually, that's how Knuckles and Rouge are in SA2. I don't know why I even made the comparison. But basically they're kind of working together, but they're kind of not, and I see them kind of do something like that. Also, in the chat, Loveface XYZ, just sent a whole bunch of emojis, like thumbs up and stuff like that. So thank you for the support.
Yeah.
And welcome to the channel. Cause I have not seen you before, so welcome.
Welcome.
But anyhow, go ahead.
One final thing I want to say though, and this hit me afterwards. The way I think about like introducing them, I think about like Marvel, and it's a bit different because it's movies, but they like the way they introduced it. They introduced Iron Man, Thor. They introduced the pretty recognizable characters, and even then, like recognizable, but they didn't immediately throw in like Moon Knight or She-Hulk or just characters who are still popular characters and are good characters, but still like, as you said, not as recognizable as like characters in general. And I think if they kind of follow that like kind of cycle of get people introduced to these characters, then slowly pour more in, and then once they get comfortable with more, just just keep adding more and more characters, and don't like overflow with too many characters, but just have a balance.
No, yeah, I could definitely see that. Something I don't think they would do this. And that's why I thought was funny, just because this point is based off of like the thing like them introduce too many characters. It's like they just introduced just like Vector in this show, like just like
I could see that.
That could be kind of like I could see them maybe like maybe it's like this idea. What if the Knuckles show is kind of Knuckles forming the Chaotix?
I could totally see that.
That could be, and like we slowly like the first few episodes is mainly just like Knuckles and like basically almost like an Ocean's 11 type of thing. Like he needs to do some type of like mission or job, and he needs to get like he realizes he needs a team, and some reason he can't get Sonic and Tails for whatever reason. And he's like, no, I want my own team. I don't know. Maybe after the second movie, Sonic and Knuckles aren't like best buds, because like in the games, like it wasn't really until like Sonic Heroes where like Knuckles was basically like full on with Team Sonic. Like, we don't really think about nowadays because it's just been so long since then. But like they really, for the most part, Sonic and Knuckles like they didn't really even really talk to each other that much outside of when they had to, basically. Because one's on Angel Island, one's on the planet, I guess. In the game universe, they keep changing the name, but in our case, Earth, Mobius, Earth, Sonic's World, whatever name they decided to pick it that week. But I think it'd definitely be interesting. I guess we talk about the Idris Elba show a lot, and I don't want to talk about too much about the Sonic movie because it's really not much to talk about. But Thomas, do you have? Let's see. Give me like one theory or idea or something you want in the third Sonic movie.
In the third Sonic movie, I want them to reference the IDW comics at least in one way.
God,
it can be small, but just in one way. I don't care how small it is, just reference it.
I love is this the main new character is this Dr. Starline. That's what the wed is.
That would be amazing.
I would freak out, but like I wouldn't want them to do that yet.
I feel like that's jumping. I feel like that goes back to what I'm saying of you're not even introducing a character from a game yet. You're introducing a character from a comic book alongside the games.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be cool, but
yeah, no, I get that. Like I don't know. I guess I feel like the only because like at least like the Chaotix are in like a lot of the spin-offs and like doing the Mario and Sonic games. Like most people will probably know who the Chaotix are like in general, or they may have been,
even before I was a really big Sonic fan, I at least recognized Vector the Crocodile.
Yeah,
I didn't exactly know his name, but I knew who he was. Yeah.
Also we have Emmanuel, in the chat. Hello, welcome. And they said, I doubt that they'll reference IDW, but we'll see. Yeah, like
Yeah,
I,
we. Uh, I just want it, man.
yeah, like I would because we're both big fans of the IDW comic series. And we both love this, we love the comics. I think I could see them possibly like eventually bringing in them the IDW characters, but this isn't like a long time from now. Like not anytime soon. It'd be like theoretically I could see them maybe introducing like phase 2 or 3 if we're
I
going based
feel
off of the
like
Marvel
I feel like
universe.
they would at least have to show up in at least one game before they would introduce them in a movie. But who knows?
Yeah,
I could
we'll
be
have to see
wrong.
if Sega how much Sega will restrict it, but I guess because I guess I think in the Marvel universe I think of how they like they don't well as Marvel is just like solely comics, but like what they're pulling off
Yeah,
of, but like like I think they pull off a different not they pull off a different parts of the comics, and especially more recently. I think like if any character was gonna be in the movies, it would be Tangle because Tangle's like the one like the most popular one that like everyone knows about, like even like outside just like the core comic base. Like I know like a good amount of people like who aren't even Sonic fans, but they know who Tangle is, so they've at least seen Tangle just because Tangle is the fourth character they introduced that was comic exclusive. But at this point, we're getting way too far into speculation territory, and I'm sure before or at least after the second Sonic movie, we'll have a whole lot of videos speculating on what's going to happen before and after and everything in between. Um,
yeah.
you couldn't tell we're big Sonic fans. Anyhow, though, going on to our second news topic. Oh, well, before we get into that, do you see Archie characters being introduced into the Sonic movie?
I
Um,
could see Archie characters before IDW,
I
if
guess
I'm being
yeah.
honest.
Because because the Archie characters are like solely like in the American cartoons and stuff. I could definitely see that. I think same thing with IDW. I think it's definitely like no time soon, but I could see like maybe them introducing like Sally, or I think it would be neat they like Ian Flynn. For those who don't know, that's the person who wrote a good amount of Archie comics. Was the head writer of the IDW comics, is now writing the games. Um, Basically, big influence in the Wyden's circle of Sonic. I know he has said like if they ever bought back the Freedom Fighters, because Sega does own them. Sega owns the majority of stuff from Archie. That's not all of it, but they do own like the Freedom Fighters and all that, like Sally and stuff. He did say they ever bought them back in the IEW. They wouldn't. He would not bring them back as many characters. They bring them like they have the freedom fighting group. Like Sonic finds a freedom fighting group, which is Sally, um, I'm forgetting Antoine, Bunny Rabbit. I'm forgetting the Walrus's name, and I feel so bad. But because I actually really like him, but the Walrus, and I guess I could see him maybe like introducing them as just like this group of like people, like oh yeah, we got this little like freedom fighter group, and like maybe they won't be a major character, but maybe they could have their own thing, like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like a team of people from the Marvel universe that isn't the Avengers. But
Fantastic Four.
yeah, I guess kind of like that. Like yeah, like yeah, like kind of like they get their own like little thing. Like not as big as Internals, but kind of like our Internals, the movie. We got like this group of people, and it's like the Freedom Fighters is introduced this new group of characters that maybe we saw like at like a little bit like we'll just say theoretically Sonic Movie 3. I don't think it'll be that soon we'll see Archie characters, but it was just for the sake of the discussion. Sonic sees them, they help Sonic a bit in Sonic Movie 3 against Metal Sonic or whatever. And then they get their own spin-off movie, and it's like, oh, we get to see his characters more. I think it's possible, but I don't think we're going to see that until basically probably not until they stop numbering the Sonic movies. Um, to put it simply,
that's
because I don't think we're going to
that's
get a Sonic movie. I think we'll get a fourth Sonic movie, but not Sonic the Hedgehog 4. I think normally when the fourth movie they drop the name, the numbers typically. So,
yeah.
but I guess Thomas, do you have anything else you want to add to this?
More Sonic, please.
Yeah, honestly, I Sonic Origins win. Y'all said first half of this year win. But anyhow, speaking of this is a video game podcast, by the way. Well, I know we've been talking about Sonic, but we've been talking about movies. First 30 minutes of the podcast. And a very popular video game is Wii Sports, which is getting I guess not a sequel, but a spiritual successor in the form of Nintendo Switch Sports, which will be coming in May. I don't have the release date in my notes. But it's coming in May. And this is one of the things announced on Nintendo Direct. If you want to hear more about my thoughts on Nintendo Direct, go watch my reaction and my post discussion. We won't be talking about Nintendo Direct too much here, just because it would take up the whole podcast to talk about it. So feel free to go check that out. But the reason why I'm talking about Nintendo Switch Sports in particular is because they recently announced and have recently finished doing this free demo to test the servers over this past weekend. And the people who did play it, I unfortunately didn't have time to do it this weekend, but the people who did said they enjoyed it. It was really good. But one of the weird things Nintendo did was they did not allow any footage or images from this demo to be on YouTube, basically any social media platform. You can't stream it, you can't make a post about it on Twitter, and some people have, and they've been shut down, getting taken down by Nintendo, which is interesting to see, because the big thing about this is Nintendo has done things like this before, like with the Splatoon test fire and whatever they call the one they did with ARMS, and they did one I believe with Mario Tennis and golf as well, and it's odd that specifically with the Switch Sports one they're like, no, we don't want you to promote it. But what are your thoughts on this?
If I had to guess, and this is just going off of just whatever, I would say they probably did that because, this game, I have a feeling, at least in their mind, it's going to hit a larger, a wider audience than just people who enjoy Nintendo games in general. It's going to be the actual Wii, and maybe they just want to market it like that, and I don't know. I just think it's normal Nintendo weirdness.
Yeah, it is like that. That's the thing. It's Nintendo's always unpredictable. Okay, that's apologies for that. The person who just put that chat message, everyone is not. They have now been banned from the channel.
Oh.
I won't. We're gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna report them real quick. Yeah. So okay. Sorry. Let me. How do I? Yeah.
Everybody be kind to each other.
Yeah. Oh well. I won't get too much into it. I'll tell you about it after the stream. Cause I know you don't have chat open. But anyhow, going off of that, well, we have a question in chat. I'm sorry, that completely threw me off. But Emmanuel asked us do we see Super Sonic appearing in Sonic Movie 2 or 3? What do you think?
That's a good question. Well, and I'll say this. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was. I'm not saying that we can only go off of this, but Sonic the Hedgehog 2 was the first time, I'm pretty sure, that we saw Super Sonic. So,
true.
I'm not pointing any fingers, but yes. I honestly, if I had to, and going back to that, if I had to imagine how that would go, I think it would be a mixture of Sonic's power towards the end of the first movie, and maybe something to do with the Master Emerald. But I don't know. It depends on if they introduce more Chaos Emeralds in this. But again, I'm unsure.
Yeah.
But I think it's possible.
I think it's possible. I personally do think, and I've had this idea since he announced the second movie, is second movie we get the Chaos, we get the Master Emerald, and actually, I was gonna bring this up, but now I'm gonna bring this up because the theory I have. So Knuckles has the same type of quill power sword thing that Sonic has, except it's with strength instead of speed. So with Knuckles, he has all that strength, and assuming he's the protector of the Master Emerald, and that's one thing that he's protecting. But Sonic, he can run fast and all that. So what if Sonic, because Tails doesn't have this ability from what we've seen. He doesn't have the glowy ice glow and all that type of thing. But what if Sonic is the protector of the 7 Chaos Emeralds, and the reason why he has the power to run fast is so he can, like they scatter across, like they often do in the games, he can run and collect them all faster than anyone else.
Maybe.
So I could see that maybe being a plot point in Sonic Movie 3. Because like as like people said, I've seen people bring this up before. What was the main reason why Longclaw was protecting Sonic in the first movie? And well, outside people are hunting Sonic down because of his power and with the speed and all that. But why does Sonic have that power? And then now Knuckles also has it, and it's like, okay, the Echidna Drive was hunted down Sonic. And assuming Sonic and Knuckles are about the same age, assumingly, like how they are in the games, why is Knuckles, clearly Knuckles had some type of power, why do they need specifically Sonic's power, the Echidna Tribe? So, well, this, I feel like some stuff we'll get answers to in the second movie, even if it's not what I just said. But it's just something I thought, and I've always had this idea of you end the trilogy. Though yes, if you want to be game accurate, the second game, but I think it'd be cool if you end the trilogy with a supersonic fight, because unless the death, I personally don't think we're going to see the Death Egg in this movie. I think the Death Egg robot or whatever it ends up being called in the movie, to be called, it'd be weird, they call it Death Egg robot and there's no Death Egg. That would be the big final boss of the movie, unless that would, I'll be okay with seeing more than just that, but that's what I think may happen. And maybe in the third movie that would be the Death Egg and this big final thing. I've also seen people say that they may not bring the Death Egg to the movies because, like, yeah, like it's a parody of the Death Star in the games, and that's in the games. I see some people have been like, Paramount may not be comfortable doing that since it's a movie and Star Wars was a movie. That's just pure speculation there.
I don't know. I feel like
But
that goes under fair use because
oh
Sonic
yeah,
is not the first time to blatantly, well, at least parody Star Wars.
Spaceballs.
Yeah, literally space. God.
Yeah, but that's just like random theorization. That doesn't really hold any ground. But no, it's just something I know. I've seen people as an idea I thought of was the whole like Sonic's fast and he can collect all of them. I personally think it's gonna be a third movie because I think that'd be a cool way to end the trilogy. Because then I'm like, what are you going to end the like? That doesn't mean you have to end it with Supersonic, but I feel like it kind of makes sense. You end it with Supersonic, the trilogy, because that's the whole thing. But they also wouldn't have to do that. Maybe we'll get Hypersonic back from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. We won't, but maybe we'll get it back because they straight up denied us Hypersonic was ever a thing. But maybe not. Who knows? But good question. That's actually a really good question. Emmanuel. Um,
Yeah.
but go back to the Switch sports topic. I don't have too much to add on this outside. It's kind of like, it's just kind of like, if this is the only time Nintendo's done something like this, like, yeah, normal Nintendo stuff, and it's why it doesn't faze me too much. But it's just kind of interesting. It just shows how unpredictable Nintendo is. Like, you would think that, oh, like we saw this in Direct, I was thinking like, oh, it's going to be like the Splatoon test fires and it's all going to be fun. And like, it's still fun, but it's like, why can't we stream it? Like, that's honestly, the main reason I was going to do it was so I could stream it. And I thought it'd be fun to like show it off to y'all. Because there was this whole like application process you had to go through to get it. It wasn't just on the eShop. It was really dumb. And I was going to go through that and all that, and then I found out Canvas streaming. And I'm like, the game comes out in like 2 months, and to be frankly honest, like, I'm excited for this. It's the type of game I can wait till it comes out. So I just decided I'm not going to sit there and go through all of this and the whole process to get it. But yeah, but yeah, that's just my personal thought on it. Also, Emmanuel in chat says, also Super Sonic is a homage to Super Saiyan from Dragon Ball. But one more question about Sonic: people keep saying Shadow will appear in the third movie because the guns in the second movie. Um, I think they are going to set it. I do think Shadow's going to be the post credit scene, and it's going to be my personal theory is Gun or GUN for you diehard Sonic fans. Um, they're going to be like, we want our own Sonic, and they're going to make him. And I know I've seen some people say like, but Shadow's supposed to be 50 years old and created by Dr.Robotnik and all that. And I'm like, yeah, that's what's in the games, but also like this is an
They can change it.
adaptation. Yeah, like they've already changed a lot of stuff of the Sonic lore, and really like we haven't gotten too much like of Sonic lore in the first game to really base off of. But I definitely think we're going to see how close they're going to stay to the games with the second movie because we're going to get a lot more game elements. And I'm okay with them changing it up as long as they still it's an
As long as it
adaptation.
makes sense.
As long as it makes sense, like if they just have gun. It'd be cool. They have, let's just say they have they could still do something like maybe Jim Carrey's Robotnik's dad, which would theoretically be Gerald Robotnik, does create Shadow, and he just happens to walk for a gun. That would be kind of cool. Like that would still be like the games, but just have him where he makes them nowadays, and like kind of you don't have to completely recreate the story. You don't need the space colony arc and all that stuff. But it would just be kind of a neat idea. Like yeah, bring in that stuff. But I do think GUN. I do think they're going to make Shadow. I personally think. I know I see you brought up Metal Sonic as well in chat. I think we're going to see Metal Sonic in this movie, in the second one. I think that's what Robotnik's going to use the Quill for, like many other people think, because I don't think they're going to do two Sonic rivals in the same movie, and I don't think we're not going to get Shadow in the third movie because at this point I feel like they've been holding themselves back from Shadow to not overwhelm people. But like if Shadow, like what are they going to do in the third movie? They blow the load of Shadow in this movie. But the other thing I feel that is also you introduce a Tails and Knuckles and for basically Eggman, like and the Master Emerald. And it's like you tell me you're also going to introduce Shadow in this, like as well on top of that, where Shadow could really hold his own movie, which is why I think that would be the third movie. And you have Metal Sonic here because Metal Sonic, as much as I love Metal Sonic, he doesn't really have that much lore around him. When he was first created, at least, they only got Neo, Metal Sonic, and all that, but just on the base level, Metal Sonic is just a Metal Sonic.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, like they want to do a Sonic Heroes adaptation of Neo Metal Sonic. Yes, please. I love Neo Metal Sonic. But yeah, no, another good question though. But yeah, I think that's all we have to say about Nintendo Switch Sports. Unless you have anything else to add, Thomas.
Not really, just par for the course, at least for now, in
Yeah,
terms of Nintendo weirdness.
yeah. Regularly scheduled Nintendo weirdness. Talk about something that's weird and Nintendo related though. Nintendo has announced that Majora's Mask will be coming to the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack on the N64 app, and it will be arriving on February 25th, which I believe is this Friday.
Soon.
Yeah, this Friday. But yeah, like you said, soon, and this about matches up when we got the last one. The what did we get last month? Banjo.
Yeah.
Yep. We got Banjo, and that probably means if they follow what we did with Banjo, we found out about Majora's Mask the day after Banjo came out, so we'll probably find out what the next N64 game will be. Hopefully, in the next week or so, which I'm really hoping it's Kirby 64.
Honestly, same.
Yeah, I really want to play that game again, and I don't want to break out my original copy for it and all that. I like to just let's play. I want to play this game. I love to be able to. If this game comes on NSO, I'll probably add it part of the Kirby marathon we've been doing. And that game has so many. The Kirby 64. It has like a little like party mode with like 4-player mini games, and they're all a lot of fun. I would love, and hey, with the N64 online multiplayer, we could do like online. That'd be a lot. Oh, excuse me, a lot of fun. But no, I'm excited to see Majora's Mask. It's another Zelda game I've never played. And it's the one I've heard that I've personally piqued my interest more than Ocarina of Time. So I'm very excited to see is coming to service, and I definitely plan to play it eventually when I have time. But very excited. But you have anything with Majora's Mask, Thomas?
Um, well, I would say I'm excited, and I am excited because it's just more games. Because who's not excited for more games? But I didn't even get through the beginning area of Ocarina of Time, and I'm not saying it's a bad game, and I think I would legitimately enjoy it, but we'll see.
Yeah, I get that. But yeah, not too much to say on that. It's just cool, getting next N64 game. I love that Nintendo's seemingly doing one a month, which I like. That's perfect for me. Keep doing one a month, and we should be good with N64 games for the rest of the Switch's life. Basically, like, probably in like two or 3 years from now, some of the games we may start getting may be a little odd. Like, you may get some weirder games, but by then we'll have just such a solid library of N64 games. I'll be happy with it. And I like to space it out. So it's not like the NES and SNES app where, honestly, now that I have Earthbound, I don't know what is left for those apps to add.
Yeah,
Which it's fine. Like those are, I think it's like over 100 games. There's like over 100 games. I think it's 108 games on the NES app and like 96 games on the SNES app. And like at this point, like if they want to add like some random games here once in a while, I'm okay with that. Cause I've actually tried a lot of like random NES and SNES games to do that. It's been fun. But honestly, I'm okay with them where it's at. Because now we're getting into 64, we're getting Genesis. We're still getting new games, just for different platforms now. Um, which I'm personally okay with because I pay for the expansion pack. Um, so yeah, well we both pay for it.
kind of.
But yeah. But anyhow, again, cool to see that. Keep doing good on that, Nintendo. You're doing one thing right. But going to our next topic, which is going to be another movie, another video game movie adaptation. Tom Holland's Uncharted, which came out this last Friday, to mix the good reviews. I would say it's been like in like the 50 to like 80% range of
Critics
like
didn't like it really that much, but from what I can tell, general audiences loved it.
yeah.
Now, I
Um
want to make it clear that's not just fans. That's just general audience, like everyone.
yeah.
Fans, I haven't heard much.
Yeah, I don't know anything about fans, and I know we do plan to do a proper Uncharted discussion. I want to get guest long time guest of the channel, Lucas or Captain Brownies. Um he's a big Uncharted fan, and he has not had time to see the movie yet, but he does plan to very soon. And once he sees the movie, I want to get him on for a discussion, um kind of like half discussion, half review of the movie, because like we all like different perspectives on the franchise. Like he's played all the games several times. I kind of know about the games. I've dabbled in them a little bit. I know you, Thomas. You know basically next to nothing about the
I
series.
know nothing.
You just know the main character is Nathan Drake, and that's about it. Or at
Yes.
least before you watch the movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even then, I can't really venture to say I know much about the games.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't know how much they pulled from the games. Like I know the basic plot if the movie is the same as the games with the treasure with I forgot the name, the Mancata treasure, I believe is what it was called, and all that. I don't want to get too much into spoiler territories just in case no one here has watched it yet. We will have a spoiler discussion. That's what I was just talking about. We'll get it'll probably be at least me and Lucas, and hopefully we get Thomas into that'd be great. Get some more of us in there. But I definitely want to get the very least Lucas so to get that different perspective. But I guess without getting the spoiler territory, what were your general thoughts on the movie, Thomas?
I thought it was amazing. I I think I told this to our another friend who saw it with us, John, and I know you wouldn't necessarily get this, Joseph, because you haven't seen like Indiana Jones, but you probably know that they've talked about the new one that's coming out recently,
Yeah.
and I I'm excited for it, but I don't have high hopes for it. But I said to John, like, I feel like if you were going to do a new Indiana Jones movie, this is how you do it right.
Yeah, and that's what I thought because Uncharted is inspired from Indiana Jones, and from the little I've seen of Indiana Jones, this does give me vibes of Indiana Jones. Um, I kind like it's like that kind of globe-trotting adventure type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
Which and it was fun, and I did enjoy it. It was definitely a lot like I don't think this is going to be like my top movie of the year or anything, and that's not just because of Sonic.
Well,
Um,
don't lie to yourself.
yeah. Well, I'm just saying like I don't see this being a, like at the end of the year. It probably won't end up being like my top three. It wasn't like this is the best movie ever. It didn't like break any like new grounds outside just being another solid video game adaptation in the film industry. But that doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean it was bad. It was still very fun, very solid, and I hope they keep going with it because, like with Sonic, like the first Sonic movie, I would say about the same. If I wasn't a major Sonic fan, like I really enjoyed that movie. It was really solid, but like if I probably looked like just from a movie perspective at all movies that came out in 2020, that wasn't a lot of movies in 2020. Okay, bad example with that, but I look compared to other movies that came out around that time, like 2019 and stuff. Critically it probably is as good. But this is the first movie. It's establishing everything in the world. We're gonna know the characters, and I really do hope we get a second, at very least another movie because they set it up a sequel. There was we won't spoil what it was, but they did a lot of sequel baiting at the end of this movie.
Yeah, they did.
They really want to make another one, and actually this isn't on our notes, but I saw this right before we went live. It made 34 million opening weekend in the box
Wow.
office, which is I don't know how much the budget was, but 34 million ain't bad.
Yeah.
Especially I'm assuming based off of budgets I've seen before for movies, I could see if the momentum keeps up, they'll probably be able to at least make all the money back. If not, I could see this movie potentially doubling with how hard they've been pushing it. It's really the only major movie out right now outside of I actually don't know another movie that's actually like really big at the moment. But
Dog.
Dog, yeah, that's like the other big releases came out recently. I feel like Uncharted and Dog are two pretty different audiences. Um,
You'd be surprised.
True, like I'm interested in seeing Dog, but they're not they're distinct enough to be. Well, it's not like I'll see Uncharted. I'm like I feel like I just saw a dog. I don't a dog like movie. Like I feel like the two like you can watch them back to back and they won't feel like the same movie if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
same
that
genre or
makes sense.
whatever. Um, but yeah. Also, I like what Emmanuel said in chat. Silver will probably be in Sonic Movie 6 if we get that far. I like that little reference to '06. That's funny. Um, Honestly, I think it's possible to see Silver
It's no
potentially.
use.
Yeah, I can. I don't like because you talk about Sonic Movie a lot already, but I could see him possibly being in Sonic Movie 4 or 5. I think it could be sooner than that, personally. Though if they saved him until 6, it would be kind of a funny thing. Um,
Take this.
take this, take this. But yeah, like I said, look forward to our eventual not podcast, but this review discussion of this movie with all this fun spoilers and all that. If you haven't seen it already, I do recommend try to get some friends together. It's definitely a movie I would say you want to see with some friends because like I said, is this one of those like fun action movies like sit back. That's what I was trying to get earlier. Like I want to say it's like the big like blockbuster of the year, but it's definitely just a fun movie to sit back and watch for like it's just an hour or so, and it's just a
Yeah.
fun little movie. You don't have to like. There's not a lot you have to like digest or anything. It's just fun to watch. Um, and yeah, very solid, very solid. Um, Talk about something that hasn't been very solid in a while. Detective Pikachu. We have not seen this fuzzy little guy in several years. Um,
Yeah. He
but
kind of just released a movie and then fell off the face of the earth.
basically, but more recently, I've gotten news that Detective Pikachu 2, the game, not the movie, the game. I want to make sure that's clear.
We got you with that one.
Yeah, I just realized that you can't see the stream, but on the stream I used the poster for the movie and not, but I probably should use the box art of the game for the image.
You
Um,
just got clickbaited.
yeah, well, it
Hey.
wasn't in the thumbnail, so we're good. But basically the sequel to the Detective Pikachu game is still in active development and is still planned to be released on the Nintendo Switch. No word on the first game being ported to the Switch, though they announced that with the sequel way back in 2018. Wait, when did Detective Pikachu come out? Was that 19 or 18?
18, I
Was it
believe.
8? Yeah, because Sonic was
It,
originally going to come out 19. It's going to be, but then it got pushed to 2020. Because I know they're originally going to be back to back year wise. But yeah, it was in 2018. So it was it was the same year the movie came out. But they announced that there'll be a sequel and a port. That's also the same time they announced Pokemon Sleep, which still hasn't came out. I'm waiting, Pokemon.
I don't think it ever will, but
This isn't a news topic, but it's actually it's came back recently. There's been a lot of rumblings about it again recently, but credible rumblings. But we won't get too much into it at the moment. When it gets re-announced, we will. But yeah, it's just I know I play the games personally, the first game. Though they port it to the Switch, I'll probably pick it up. Because it's very similar to the Professor Layton games I on the DS and 3DS, which I played one or two of those games. Those are a lot of fun. And I just never had the time to pick up Detective Pikachu. Especially with the 3DS eShop dying soon, I would love to pick it up before. I love them playing the Switch before the 3DS is gone. I almost wonder if the port will come before then. I almost wonder. I feel like that may I almost wonder why that's why they made this very small announcements like, hey, it's still in development, just to be like, yeah, like, we know the 3DS is going away soon, but Detective Pikachu, the game series, isn't. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
I I definitely want to try and play the game. I do want to try and play it because I never tried the first one, and I'm a pretty big Pokemon fan myself. And I've just heard a lot of I've heard a lot of good things about the series, and I really want to pick it up.
Yeah.
Hopefully before it's gone forever. Apparently.
Yeah, hopefully. I want to get a Detective Pikachu amiibo. I've always wanted, like, I always thought that one looked really cool. Um, but yeah, yeah. Not too much to say, but it's just kind of cool. We've had a lot of big announcements, a lot of small announcements in the past few weeks. So it's kind of part of the reason why we waited 2 weeks to do the next episode, because the direct was basically all that happened. But we've had some after effects. Another question we have from the chat though is what do you think about Sonic Prime, and what's your predictions on what you think we will see? Thomas, I'll let you go first on this. What do you think, Sonic Prime?
I personally am pretty excited for Sonic Prime, even though, like the Cuphead show, that always it seems very interesting and fun to me. I don't think I'll see it when it first comes out, just due to the sad fact that I do not have a Netflix account. But I am very excited for it, and I think it's going to be. I hope at least it's going to be the next really funny Sonic show.
Yeah, I hope it is really solid. I do think it's going to be. It looks really good. It has a solid team behind it. I think it will have a good balance of like comedy. I don't think it's going to be as comedy driven as Boom was, but I
And it
don't.
doesn't have to be, but
Yeah, but I think it's going to be kind of like a mixture of like the Sonic X. I think it's going to be kind of like Sonic X. Like some episodes are more comedic, and some are more story driven. But I think it's. I definitely
yeah.
think it's going to have an overarching plot. Just judging from like the plot synopsis we have and all that. And jeez, what
Oh
was that?
yeah.
That was like. Is that early 2021 we first heard about it?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Because we heard about it when something related to Metroid.
Metroid?
Maybe it wasn't Metroid. Maybe it was something
Well, I know
else.
that was like when we kept getting Sonic news like every other week.
Yeah, it was odd.
Yeah, because that's when we got the release date for movie 2 of April 8th, which is still the release date. That's when there was something else that Sonic related happened around then. Sonic Central, and just
Uh,
a whole bunch of Sonic announcements. I think that's when we started getting a lot of leaks about Sonic. At the time, Sonic Rangers, or Project Sonic 2022, as it was known at the time. But yeah, not too. We've actually did do a video discussing what we think we may see in Sonic Prime. It's pretty old at this point, but if you probably just look up like Joey64 Sonic Prime, it'll probably pop up on YouTube. It's definitely one of the older videos. It's not. I tell you, I know. Thomas's mic quality isn't going to sound as good, just because that was not because of his end, but because of my end, because that was before I made it sound good to put it the Discord stuff. I basically used to put my phone next to my microphone with Discord open. Now we have this fancy setup where it's all digitally, but
I didn't realize it was that primitive.
yeah, it wasn't that good. Here's a link to it. I'll put it in chat. There's a link if you're interested. It's about a 34-minute video. I did not, or 36-minute video. It's a lot longer than I remember it being. God, that logo still looks so cool. That's all we got. I hate looking at this old video. Even though this is a year ago, the thumbnail's literally just the Sonic Prime logo. It's just so like, But I've shown it shows character development. It shows I've gotten better at YouTube since then. But no, yeah, very excited for Sonic Prime. Not too much to say about it. Outside of excited to watch it. Honestly, I think when it comes out, I know we didn't do this at Cuphead show, because we both like Cuphead, but we're not like massive fans. But I think with Sonic Prime, we're gonna have to do some type of watch party, Thomas. I'm gonna have to like get you over to like my house because I do have Netflix, and like
I would love that.
Yeah, I would love to watch it together, honestly, because I'm really excited for that, and I know you are as well. So and then we can make a discussion video about it afterwards.
Like we always do.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot of discussions this week because I guess that's what the podcast is actually. Never mind. That's the whole reason why I started doing the podcast. Every once in a while we get a good discussion in there because freaking news sometimes happens whenever it wants.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about stuff that happens whenever it wants, though. Funerals. The Wii U is
did not expect you to say
unfortunately
funerals.
gonna be dead. Oh, and the 3DS. But the Wii U, the more important console here, will be dead in March 2023. And what I mean by dead, of course, the eShops, I'm sure you all heard about it already. The eShops will be closing in March of 2023 for the Wii U and 3DS.
You know, if it wasn't for the 3DS, I don't think Nintendo would be as nearly as strong as they were right now.
Oh, no, yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm joking, to be clear. The 3DS, I have a lot of appreciation for it. Not as much as the Wii U, but I love the 3DS. It's a great console, or great handheld. Very solid system. I haven't played too much of it. I need to buy a 3DS before this happens, because I don't own one at the moment. But, very solid, both, like, this, not solid, but, this is really sad, like, it was bound to happen eventually. I know we've all been waiting for it, eventually happen.
Yeah.
And now it's like, yeah, it's happened. I'm happy we have a year in advance, because if y'all have seen some post me on Twitter, I'm already like planning to like drop like $500 on the Wii U eShop over the next year, so I can get all the games I want off the eShop, because I want all the Wii U games that I possibly can get my hands on, basically. So that's my main thing. But Thomas, what's your I guess reaction to this?
Sad.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, I grew up more with the 3DS because I had just really had the 3DS first, but even the Wii U, which was still pretty big when I got it, like, these are the consoles that I really grew up with. Like, I had the Wii and stuff, but it's just, this was my generation's console, and
Yeah,
it's kind of devastating, but you know, sometimes you just gotta let the past go.
Yeah, I know for me, the Wii U, well, I wasn't the console I grew up. Well, I partially grew up with it, but for the most part, I grew up with stuff like the GameCube and stuff. But the Wii U was the first console that I ever owned. It wasn't like a part of the family, whatever. Like, it was like my console. And the Switch was the next one I had after that. But and I love my Switch. But the Wii U, it was just like, I have such a big connection with it. And of course, you also know I've been trying to collect every Wii U game, and the Wii U is just such a like special console, especially for like the more diehard Nintendo fans. I feel, because they're like, it was that failure of Nintendo, and you know, I think it's really, I do personally feel like that the Wii U walked so the Switch could run, or the Wii U stumbled and crashed and burned so the Switch could fly. Honestly, because a lot of stuff from the Wii U, I think it woke Nintendo up. They're like, okay, we can't just do this again. um, we can't just do the Wii again and stuff. Like most people to this day still think the Wii U is just an accessory for the Wii. Like I have to explain to people almost on a daily basis the Wii U is its own console because like even this image here, they're not showing off the console, they're showing off the gamepad. And they didn't show off the console enough to for people to realize it was its own console. They just thought it was just a gamepad. Which eventually the Switch, they're like, what if we just made a gamepad that's console? Everyone thought it was. Let's actually do it. And we got the Switch, but no, it's definitely big, especially for me as a collector and someone who I've been trying to collect every single Wii U game. It's a big thing for me because while I don't plan to buy every Wii U game in the eShop, that's just way too much. Unless I win the lottery, then I will. I do plan to get all the major eShop titles, all the virtual console ones that aren't already on the NSO app. I probably will get, and I've already been making a list. Like I said, I'm estimating dropping a large sum of money for this over the course of next year, and just like spacing it out over the year, just picking up stuff. And I'm hoping to find a lot of hidden gems because the thing I like about the Wii U is that people weren't going to put games on there just to make a quick buck. There are some of those, like Cube Life, but most of the time, if you make something on the Wii U, it's because you want to make something on a Nintendo console, on the Wii U, and that's why there's a very small library. It's a very passionate one. So it's definitely something that it's why it's my favorite console because you could probably just close your eyes and grab a random game, and you'll have a pretty good chance it's going to be at least a good time, if not better. So yeah, yeah. I know to me it's to me we use the more devastating part for me personally because while I did grow up with a 3DS, I don't own one currently, so it's not something that I only had for my 3DS for a few years before I lost it. So I don't have one anymore. But the Wii U, it's still my original one that I got back in the day it released, and yeah, and yeah, I don't want to if I keep talking about it now, it's be repeating myself, so I don't want to ramble on too long, ramble enough about the Wii U. But no, it's just definitely it's a big thing, and this is the thing. The big thing is just Nintendo's force consoles or systems that will like really push digital content. So I think that's why it's such a much bigger deal in the Wii Shop channel. While the Wii Shop channel is a big thing, a lot of the smaller games on they were small, though almost like flash games basically. And a lot of them have been bought on for the one, but I know some people bought with the 3DS. So on the 3DS, the DSi, there was a DSi store, and it had a lot of original games. All those games got put on the 3DS eShop, but like 3 of them, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're not just losing all the 3DS eShop games, we're losing all the DSi eShop games too.
Yeah.
Which is just crazy. Like it's this insane amount of number of games that we're going to be losing out on. It's why I will not pick up a 3DS because I'm like, I want to at least get a lot of these major things. Like a lot of these games have been re-released since then, but for every game that's been re-released, there's another 5 that haven't been across both these systems. And even then, like even there's like a physical release, and then like what's it say like what's a Xenoblade Chronicles X? Yeah, you get it physically. But that game's already goes for like $40-$50, which isn't horrible because that's probably about how much it retailed. But it's also a nearly 10-year-old game, so it's kind of a tough pill to swallow. Now wait until the Wii U eShop's gone. I bet the price is already gone up because they announced it, but wait until it's gone. The only way you get is that physical copy. I'm happy I have my hands on it. I'm happy I have my hands on a lot of the more expensive ones. Because I haven't even looked at how much prices have skyrocketed for the Wii U. They were already going up. I've talked about this, Thomas. Wii U prices and 3DS prices have as well. They've been going up a lot the past, like, especially this past year of 2021. And they're just going to continue to grow. So, like, I've been telling people, like, now is the time to be picking up. I've been focused more on the Wii U because that's my console, but the same goes with 3DS. Pick up stuff if you want this console. If you think you're going to any of these systems, even like you not now, but you think you may want them later, pick it up now. At the very least, you can pick it up, buy the games you want for them while they're still a decent price, and put them in storage. And then when you're ready to play them, you can play them later. But I don't think 3DS is going to be as bad as Wii U just because there's so many more 3DSs. though it still is going to be harder for 3DS just because it is, um, there is only but so many 3DSs and so many 3DS games out there, but both of them, it's going to be a really big deal, especially if you're a collector. So yeah, I'm really big on y'all couldn't tell, I'm really big on like the preservation of video game and media in general, but personally video games is my thing, so it's mainly video games I'm really big about preservation on. And it's like it's why I have that urge to like just buy as much as I can, which is partially probably one of the reasons why Nintendo's doing this, partially. But I actually saw on this really neat thing. This person who's been working on servers in like entire life, they explain how expensive it is to run a server like the eShop, like the Wii U eShop and 3DS eShop. And it was, I forgot the numbers, but it's like a ridiculous amount of numbers, like money for them to keep running these. To the fact where it's almost like shocking they've kept them running for as long as they have, especially the Wii U one. I'm sure the 3DS one kept, like, it probably still makes a good amount of money. I'm sure the 3DS one is still making like a lot of money, probably like up to like 2019 probably. The Wii U one probably like basically died, probably basically like in like 2019, maybe probably 2018, but definitely by 2019. But it's an insane amount of money that it takes to run these servers, especially once it's massive as these eShops. So it makes sense. It gave me a different perspective on, instead of being mad at Nintendo, it made me a bit more understanding of them. I just only wish that they would put more of their stuff over to like the Switch or something. But yeah, I don't know, like we'll see, I guess.
It's time to say goodbye.
It truly is. It is. It's time to say goodbye to the stream, actually. Because this is where we're going to be wrapping it up for the stream. A very a longer episode for the 64 podcast, but a very fun one. We've had a lot of fun stuff in chat. I want to cover the last few comments we have here in the chat before we wrap it up. We have EFC, hello. Welcome, and they said, "Sup, y'all. Hope everyone's day is good." And yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And we also had one final question from Emmanuel. Sorry. One final question saying, "What do you all think about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness?" Me personally, don't have like too much like the specifics outside of just I want to watch it. I want to watch it now, and I can't wait.
I'm not gonna lie. Maybe it's because we just had a lot of questions about Sonic. I heard Dr.Robotnik in the Multiverse of Madness. I don't know why, but that's just what I heard.
Yeah. Well, I guess then, what do you feel about Dr. Robotnik and the Multiverse of Madness then?
I think he's going insane.
Yeah, clearly. I'm very, yeah, I definitely know.
Very excited. Very excited for the movie, by the way.
Yeah, very excited. Yeah, I definitely do plan to start talking about more movies here. I actually recently got like the Legal Unlimited pass, where I can see like an unlimited amount of movies. So we're definitely going to start talking about movies more here on the channel. I don't know. I don't know how much, because I do want to still keep mostly gaming, but not like every movie I see we'll talk about, but maybe we'll start talking about some stuff that isn't just gaming movies in the future. But that's another discussion for another day. Also, hello, Beyond, welcome to the ending. So I didn't come early, but I just wanted to say goodnight. Well, good night. Thanks for dropping by. Good night.
Nighty night. Sleep tight. Don't let the Wii U eShop bite.
I love having you here, Thomas. You bring some unique flair.
That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Anyhow, though, on that note, tomorrow, don't forget, we have Forza Mario Kart Monday. It's probably just gonna be called Mario Kart with the viewers, but it'll be on Monday.
How about Mario Kart Madness?
No,
Mondays with Mario Kart Madness.
I do kind of like that, but also basically Mario Party Madness flashbacks. Hey. But anyhow, we will be doing Mario Kart tomorrow with y'all the viewers could join, so drop by if you're able to, and yeah. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this. And we'll see you all in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Uh,